Hi everyone, and welcome to Musical Mondays, and welcome to my childhood home here in Boulder, Colorado, which means I'm also with my childhood piano that I haven't really regularly been able to play for about 10 years now. So this is quite fun for me to be back here and getting some time to play the instrument that I'm mainly trained on. And I thought starting off this new series of Musical Mondays where we'll be exploring all the different instruments in the orchestras and meeting lots of different musicians that play all those different instruments, I thought today we'd start with my instrument, the piano. So here you are. This is a beautiful, what we call a grand piano, because it has all the strings going out in this horizontal way. You can see the kind of the amount of sound an instrument like this can produce, because when an instrument is this big, it all vibrates, and that's what really sends the sound far out from the piano. Now, boy, I don't even know where to start with this instrument, but why don't we start with one of the really special things about this instrument. It was made in Germany by a maker called Steingraber. And what was really exciting for me is I think I was probably like 14 years old, and Mr. Steingraber himself actually flew out here from Germany, and I played a little concert for him. And because of this, come here and take a look. He signed my piano for me. So it is actually like this piano is now personalized by the maker, which just makes me really, really happy. So this instrument, that's kind of why this instrument is so special to me. So there are, the piano has a very long history. We've talked a little bit about the harpsichord, which was sort of the earliest version of the piano, if you will. And of course, this keyboard, these keys here, are going to look familiar, whether it's the harpsichord or the clavichord or the early forte piano. All these instruments have this keyboard, and whenever you press a key, some mechanism happens to produce sound. Now with the harpsichord, when you press a key, a little pick comes up and flicks the string like a guitar. And so in a harpsichord, you couldn't actually make that much sound because it was just plucking the string. As you'll notice here in the piano, these are hammers, and they're covered with felt, and basically there's incredible power. There's many mechanisms of leverage inside the piano, so that when one key is pressed, all these different things happen that send a hammer up to strike the string, and that produces all the sound in the piano. And that's why it can produce a tremendous amount of sound, is the weight of just me pushing down my finger sends a bunch of levers into action that sends this hammer up to hit the string. And that's basically how you're producing sound. One of the things that I often get asked is, what about the pedals on the piano? All right, so we got 3 pedals down here. All right, now the one we use most often is this one on the far right. It's called the sustaining pedal. Now come back up here and take a look. You'll see these things up here we call dampers, okay? And the reason we need them is because when I play a note, you see it goes up, and it allows the string to ring. Now when I drop it, the sound will stop because the damper comes down and stops the sound on the string. Now, what if I want the whole piano to ring, not just one note? Well, when I press the sustaining pedal, okay, this one down here, all of the dampers go up. And so no matter how many notes I play, get ready for this, it's gonna ring. And now what's gonna happen is if I release the sustain pedal all at once, then there's no sound, okay? So it's a very useful way for us to get a beautiful, brilliant sound out of the whole piano. And let the piano ring, and it allows you to do that. Now the middle pedal is actually quite remarkable. The middle pedal allows me only to sustain certain notes. So let's say I want to sustain this beautiful C major chord. So I play those notes, and then I press down the middle pedal. And now only those notes are held up here. So if I play all the notes on the piano, now only those notes are gonna ring, all right? So that's the middle pedal. And then the final pedal is what we call the soft pedal, una corda. And the idea is, if you'll notice, if we go back up here, you'll see there's 3 strings for every note. Now, that's also what makes the piano so loud, is having 3 strings. And when I press, you see the hammer there, it hits all 3 strings. Now, if I press the far left pedal, did you see it move? You see it shifts. So now suddenly that hammer is not going to hit all the strings. And it gives a different quality to the sound. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it on the recording, but like here's a normal chord, and here's a chord with that pedal pressed down. So it's a little bit of a darker sound, and when we're trying to create lots of sensitive characters in the piano, we'll use that pedal. So those 3 pedals help us just kind of build on the expressiveness of the piano. So I'm here at the piano with Chloe because one of my favorite things to do when I'm playing piano is play with someone else. It's called 4 hands because there's our 4 hands that we're going to be using to play the piano at the same time. It's one of really the oldest forms of music because back like in the 1800s, 1700s, the 1800s, when they didn't have like the radio to turn on or like a CD to put on, when they wanted to have music for parties, there would be a piano and like 2 people would sit down and like play music. And so this was the music for homes. It was the music that families played together. So we're going to play a piece that I absolutely love. It's by the French composer Maurice Ravel, and it's part of a whole suite called the Mother Goose Suite. It's all fairy tales, and this of course is a very famous one, Beauty and the Beast, and I'm sure you all know the story, but musically what Ravel does with it is really quite remarkable. And I should mention that Chloe here is playing the piano. Now you guys all fell in love with Chloe when she was playing the harp. So, this is she got the double whammy going here because you actually started on the piano?
I did start on the piano. The piano is so similar to the harp that actually it was easy to transition, but I stopped playing piano when I went to college, and I haven't performed since.
Right.
This marks my first debut in 7 years at the piano for a public audience.
Yeah, see, now I'm getting back at you for making me try to pluck on the second harp with you back in the day, but I somehow I think you're going to do a little better than I did on the harp. So before we play this piece for you though, like I said, we want to show you some of the ways that Ravel tells the story of Beauty and the Beast. Now, most importantly, we have the characters, Beauty and the Beast, represented by Chloe being the beauty. You want to show us that your little beauty melody? Very nice, very nice. And I get to be the Beast. The sound, I play way down here. So at the very beginning, you're going to hear the 2 characters get introduced. You'll hear this beautiful, like dance-like melody with Beauty, and then the Beast, kind of, gruffly, trying to dance with her, but not being very successful at it. And so you'll hear those 2 things. Now, what's great is you hear those 2 ideas separately, but then in the music, there's a spot where you'll hear the Beauty on top and the Beast in the bottom. Why don't we play it just a little bit so you can hear the 2 melodies at the same time. So. Yeah. So you'll be able to hear those 2 things at the same time, and then of course the most important part of the story, where they kiss.
And the Beast is transformed into a prince, and he's been one all along.
And Chloe has a very important job to describe the magical transformation of the Beast. Exactly. So you wait for that moment, and then what's amazing is, remember this music that the Beast plays, which this. Now, when they kiss and you hear Chloe play that magical melody, yeah. So the same thing that was played down here, then the Beast becomes a prince, and so it gets transferred up to the top of the piano. So the whole piece is just this wonderful, magical story. You can picture so much of what's going on with it, and as you'll see, we have a great time playing this together. So hope you guys enjoy.
And please excuse any wrong notes. It's been a while.
No, it'll be great. It'll be great. Awesome.
There
you guys go. Beauty and the Beast. Well, everyone, I hope you had a great time learning about the piano and hearing that beautiful duet with Chloe and I. I thought I'd finish off this Musical Monday with clips of various performances from some legendary pianists, both alive and those who have passed away, and just to get a sense for just the incredible technique that has been developed on the piano over the course of 300 years. It really is quite remarkable. So I'm going to send you off with some wonderful performances. If you see any names that you like, you can go to YouTube, you can go online and type in their names, and you can watch more of their performances. So thank you so much for joining me, and next Monday we'll see you, and we're going to be talking about the orchestral horn. All right, everyone, see you soon.